Before we proceed to further polish the edge, we will proceed to wet sanding, and then we will use the buffing machine to polish the edges. One step before that, after you have filed, you have done your cross filing, you have done your straight filing, and you have done your draw filing, there's this special step that most schools do adopt. It is to scrape the surface further, but in a very careful and slow and light manner. Sometimes, depending on your school workshop, there will be broken hacksaw blades. The instructors will cut the blade, and you do not use the saw teeth side, but you use the back part of the broken saw blade. So of course I cannot demonstrate using this hacksaw. So what you do is you scrape slowly. Sometimes as you dig in, you create additional cuts. Alright, so you got to be gentle. For curved parts like this, you scrape towards yourself if you are standing like where I'm standing now. Okay, and of course do not dig in. Alright, do not dig in. You just, as if an airplane is landing on a runway. Alright, go gently and softly. Now what you're scraping is actually the corner of your steel rule, not even the flat edge surface, but the corner of the edge surface. So you go through every edge, and of course the easiest way to remember is to start from one point and finish off to the other. I pause for now. To prepare the acrylic edge for buffing, to polish the edge, we use what we call the waterproof abrasive paper or wet and dry paper. It looks like this. What we do is we wet the wet and dry paper, and we do the polishing or the sanding this way. The reason why we do wet sanding is because you can see the fine acrylic dust, the whitish part. If we were to sand normally without water to trap the dust, right, the dust will fly around. Now, it may be a blessing disguise that because of COVID-19, we are all wearing masks indoors. So wearing masks will be an added protection, so that the acrylic dust, you do not breathe it in, and the dust will permanently stay in your lungs. So that is very unhealthy. So for flat edges like this, it's very easy. For curved edges, you have to use your hand rather, alright, to find the position to sand the inner areas. Be careful, alright, it's very fragile here. And my recommendation is you can skip those inner parts, because we can use the cream type or the paste type metal polish. Alright, one example is the auto sole, which we have in the workshop. We can use the cloth and apply the auto sole cream here, the metal polish, to polish the inside. So we cannot use the buffing machine on all these fragile areas. We can use the buffing machine around here, around this area, alright, over here and here. The inner side, we have to use the metal polish. Okay, so you can do a bit of wet sanding inside, but you cannot use the buffing machine. And it is easier to do the polishing of the edges when it is not shaped yet. Alright, shaping means using heat to thermoform. So it's basically a flat piece of acrylic. Now in the interest of time, I will just speed up this process, and then I'll proceed to buffing.